A warm welcome from the city of Nuremberg. I am at the infamous Zeppelin Field here in Nuremberg, designed by Albert Speer, Hitler's architect. And the famous Grandstand is still located here. It hasn't been destroyed, even though many years ago American forces did destroy the Swastika that was on top of the Grandstand. Very famous footage of that exists, of the American soldiers blowing up the swastika. Just try and get entry from here. There's no real place you can really enter. You've got to step over barriers to try and make your way in. Steps still intact. Of what is still intact, actually. It was a lot bigger than this, but this is what remains. So it's written here: on the 20th of April 1945, the 3rd and 45th Infantry Divisions of the 15th Army Corps of the 7th US Army liberated Nuremberg from the rule of the National Socialist regime. There's actually barriers that prevent you from going towards where Hitler once stood, because a lot of people do go there, take selfies and photos. So there's a lot of work going on here to preserve this and probably stop people from damaging it further. Heading out towards the front, because there's better viewing points of it actually, because ever since they've put barriers up, it's made it slightly difficult, because there was a time when you could go up there. It was relatively easy, but now it's sort of boarded up. Just here you can see it. You can't get in through here. Looking at the colours, I think this has been preserved a little while ago, because there's a big difference in the colour of the main grandstand and then the seating that's around it, because you'd expect this to be similar sort of colour, but this looks actually like new stone to me. Maybe it's been renovated in recent times. It does look slightly different. The side of the Zeppelin Field, you can see there's barriers that have been put up, and there's steps with overgrown plants and shrubs and all manner of plants, but you can see it, there's barriers on this side. Reminds you a bit, you know, the old stadiums that existed in Rome, where you've got steps leading up, and actually these, you can see these steps are getting to the point where they are breaking, and it won't be long before they fall out from there. Looking at it, it just looks like a normal road that's here, and then you've got this grandstand, just like a big road that separates it. They call it the Zeppelin Field because this is where a Zeppelin landed, early 1900s. So there would have been a Zeppelin here, and it was also used by American soldiers as well. They used to play baseball and other sports here whilst they were based here in Germany. This is what remains. Not many buildings, actually, Nazi era buildings, remain intact, or relatively intact, you could say. This is relatively intact. And also the vlog on the Congress Hall that I've done. The Congress Hall's quite intact as well, from when it was left in that condition at the end of World War II. But there's not many buildings actually that survive. Most of them have been destroyed, but this is one of the ones that has remained. And it's been an interesting journey here to the Zeppelin Field. If you are down in Nuremberg or in Munich or anywhere near the vicinity of Nuremberg, do come down and come see places like this. Learn from these places what happened here, what sort of speeches occurred here, what sort of divisive speeches and policies were made. And from a learning perspective, it's good. A lot of people say they should be torn down. There's that faction that say no, keep them for educational purposes. I'm of the opinion that keep them, teach the world, let them know what happened and move on. So from the Zeppelin Field here in Nuremberg, it's goodbye.